September has arrived with cooler weather and excitement that fall is around the corner. It's no secret that fall is one of my favorite seasons. And with the arrival of the colder air, we had our first bonfire this past week. I know that in the Ozarks it's way too early for the temperatures to stay cool, but I have enjoyed it while it was here. I also love things about summer, and I like to be able to hang clothes on the line to dry. For the month of August, I mostly hung everything on the line. The reason being, I wanted to see if it would greatly affect our power bill, and it has come down a lot, so I've decided it's definitely worth the effort. And I love to hang clothes on the line. I love the way they smell, and I enjoy the old-fashioned way of drying our clothes. Lately, I've been making a lot more of our bread. I'm using spelt flour because it's supposed to be easier to digest, and I had to work on the recipe because spelt doesn't require as much liquid as wheat flour does, and I don't want to use as much honey. So whenever I get it all figured out, I will share the hamburger bun recipe. The other day I came across the Sue Becker bread story. I listened to her for a while. I really want a grain meal. I think I would be able to eat bread if I would grind my own flour. So I have been looking up grain meals. If you have a recommendation, please leave it below. If you don't know who Sue Becker is, she is a homemaker mother who in the 90s or 80s started grinding in their own flour, and she talks about the benefits her family saw and how healthy and nutritious freshly ground grain is. Now I'm going to shape it into buns and set it aside and let it rise. With the close of summer drawing near, I have been observing my pantry and trying to dry as many herbs as possible. There's still a lot of herbs that I want to dry. I may just clip some and hang them in the pantry, in the back room pantry, and I'll use the sun as much as possible too. As I was preparing for this video, I was thinking about what does simple homemaking mean? The word simple means not difficult or complicated. Homemaking is what we do every day. It's not only the chores that we do, but it's also helping build up our home. It's meeting spiritual and physical needs of our family. When I say spiritually, I mean praying for them, having Bible time together, a Christ-centered home. But I think simple homemaking can also mean your unique style of homemaking. We're all different, and we all find things that work in our home that maybe doesn't work in another home. Embracing whatever works for you and is not complicated and is not stressful. I guess I'm trying to say finding your homemaking groove is the very definition of simple homemaking. I was out of parchment paper and my buns stuck a little bit, but not too bad. We were still able to use them. To go with the hamburger buns, I'm using up some leftover stir fry. I browned some hamburger meat and added to it to make it more filling. This is a dinner that we had during the week. Everyone was pleased with it. There were no leftover buns. It's always very satisfying, and I feel blessed when after a meal everyone feels satisfied, everyone is full. You showing it? When the weather's nice, I try to divide my time and spend a good amount of time outside as well as inside. It's a good mental break and refreshing to get outside after being in the house working on things for a while. Whenever it rains or it's been a few days since I watered, I will bring the mum outside and water it. This is our tub of sweet potatoes. They're behind because I started them too late. Whenever there's a danger of frost, we will just take this tub to the greenhouse. I'm trying to get in the habit of when I see something that needs doing, I do it instead of putting it off, like dusting this table. But if I put it off, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. This table was a fun thrift find. We stopped by Swap Meet and they had this table with a maple chair for $15. Today I ran to the grocery store to pick up a few things. I stopped by the health food store and picked up just a few little things. I can actually get potatoes cheaper there than at Walmart. We have already eaten all of the potatoes that we grew in the garden, but these were really good. For tonight's supper, I'm going to make homemade fries and we're going to roast some hot dogs around the bonfire. I don't know what the difference is, but it just feels so good to eat outside, whether it be around a bonfire or a picnic. When I was growing up, we went to this little country church. Every so often, we would have dinner on the ground. That was such a fun day. All of us kids would run around playing, the adults standing around talking, and then tables spread with home-cooked meals. Thinking about that now makes me think of Farmer Boy when they would go to town and have those big meals on the 4th of July and the fair. At Costco, I like to get these Polish sausages. This is what we'll use tonight around the bonfire. We like to have these chicken sausage for breakfast with some eggs. For a snack, we got a big bag of frozen fruit and some yogurt to make smoothies or just have a parfait. Sean likes to get the whole bean coffee from Costco, and it's a better deal there. I keep these sprouted pumpkin seeds on hand for a snack, and they were on sale this time. They were just over $5. And that's my little grocery haul. I like to watch the videos where people share their grocery hauls to kind of get ideas of maybe something I haven't thought of. I like to peel my vegetables into a bowl. It just feels tidier to me to peel them into a bowl. Easier to just toss them. It doesn't get all the ick and stuff on the tabletop. My favorite thing to store any kind of produce in is a basket. I love the look of a basket on the kitchen table. I'm going to store a few of these onions in the refrigerator. I like to cut them when they're cold. They seem to not make me cry as much. And then I'm store some of them on the table. The night we had our bonfire was such a special night. I love those memories that we make. We roasted our hot dogs and ate. It was getting dark. We watched the moon rise. And then the boys brought out the guitar and drum and played music way into the night. And it was just a beautiful time together. No distractions, just us being a family and enjoying it.